guys, what's up? It's your girl D from Voices Gathering Live. Hey, we're in the building. Welcome to a new week. Hello. Hi guys, how are you? How are you? I already see people. It says a number of people are watching, and thank you for being on time. Happy to see you. Hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Hope you were thankful for a lot of many things, because there's so much to be thankful for. Welcome to a new week and a new conversation. Let me shout out some people that I already said hello to in the comments. Hello, Patricia Fitzgerald. How are you, my dear? Hi, Latifa girl. Always loving you. One of my favorite people has not said hello yet, so I'm going to shout him out first. Hi, Rob. Hope you're well. And everybody else who will be joining the show. Hello. Welcome to a new conversation. Formalities. You already know them. Click that like button. I'm sure you're going to enjoy the show. So never wait to the end of the show to say hello. And by clicking the like button. Also, please do me a favor. Share the content. Right next to the like button, there's a share button. Share it. I know many of you are on social media. When I see your social media, I never see anything about the show. Come on, share the love. So click the share button, click that like button. Don't forget to be following the show on all these platforms right here. Facebook, Twitter. You're right here at YouTube, and also Instagram. We're doing really good on Instagram. I mean, I post something that really touched a lot of people, and it has over 2,000 some odd likes. But if you want to see what it is, check out the content by going to Voices Gathering live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and of course here every week on YouTube. All right, let's jump into a conversation. So this is a very challenging conversation to have. It's very challenging in the way of, here we are again having a conversation about something that's totally senseless. Uncalled for, didn't have to happen. Just so many emotions and feelings are tied to today's subject. First and foremost, I was thinking about having this conversation, but I want to shout out Latifa for coming to me as a viewer, supporter of the show, and saying, please talk about this conversation. Please talk about this topic. Although she is listening to other media, she wanted to have it here, and I appreciate her for that. So, Latifa, thank you for the suggestion and the confirmation of having today's show. Much love. Thanks. So, first, let me just put this disclaimer out there. I'm not going to be embarking on this conversation as an expert who knows all the information about what took place, how the players played their role in it. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to share my opinion, have a conversation with you guys in the chat, and get your feedback. I want you to really think about what it is we're talking about today and just really embrace this conversation. Again, I'm not here as an expert. They're still investigating the topic as we're speaking, and but I wanted to jump into this right away. Big shout out. Hello, Dawn. Thank you also for being a supporter of this show. Much love to you always. Hey, Rob, I see you. Okay. So I have a question for each and every one of you. Sorry if you're not going to be able to see this, but this is my question. I want to know, as many do, what happened to Shanquella Robertson. And I might be pronouncing her first name wrong, so forgive me, but Shanquella Robinson. What happened to her? How are we here today having a conversation about a healthy 25-year-old woman who entrusted going on a vacation with people whom she considered to be friends or very strong acquaintance? How is it that this 25-year-old woman today is not here in the land of the living? How is that? How is that? How is it that we actually have someone trust people enough to go on vacation, share a space with them, to only be harmed and hurt by them. Hello, Naomi. I see you, love. Thank you, too, for always being here. I'm baffled. I'm very, very much baffled. I am so baffled. You'll see me looking at my phone because I want to just reference some things that was standing out to me that I think was important to bring up in this conversation. But I really want to know what your feedback is. Let me just give you a little bit background information. So, just so you know, there has been a arrest warrant, has been issued in Mexico for the woman who is suspected for fatally assaulting 25-year-old Shanquella Robinson, who is from North Carolina. She was on vacation last month with some friends, and for some odd reason, she is attacked. And, more information keeps coming out because I don't know if you saw the video. The video that I saw about Miss Robinson was she was being attacked by one person. But more information is coming out that she was not attacked by just one person, but she was attacked by multiple women. So it was on camera is that one person actually assaulted her. And you got to please forgive me. I am not stumbling over my words. I'm using my words very carefully because as I talk about this conversation, I'm actually filled with a lot of emotions, right? This is not a news anchor show. This is a podcast show about true transparency, speaking your truth, which is why this show is always called Voices Gathering, and bringing other voices to the table. So I'm not stumbling over my words because I don't know what to say. I'm choosing my words carefully. I have to tell you that it first and foremost baffled me to see, as a Black person, and I hate to say this, because I have other people who are not Black supporting this platform, and thank you to them. But I would tell you, as a person of color, when you heard the news and didn't put a face to it, you was praying to the Lord that it was not someone of color. And if anyone can relate to that, throw a thumbs up in the chat. If you are of color, you was praying to the heavens that this was not someone of color assaulting another color person. And yet, it was exactly that. It was exactly that. And, we don't want to, we don't want to hide their faces. So I want to bring them over. Oh, wow. Welcome to the show, Jared. Thank you so much. I truly, truly appreciate you showing up. So I again, going back to what I was saying is I did not want to, omit. I was really hoping it wasn't someone of color. We have enough against us as people of color. Everybody has something against them. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not here to speak for everybody. I'm here to speak for my experience and give those in the chat the opportunity to speak for themselves. I don't want to be saying, oh, well, she's talking for everybody. I'm absolutely not doing that. I'm actually just sharing my personal opinion and views about the situation at hand. So again, when I saw that it was Black on Black crime, I was sick. When I saw that it was young people, I was sick. When I saw that a young woman entrusted people to go on vacation with them, and then they turned around and hurt her in so many ways to the point of taking her life, I was sick. So many things about this truly, truly, truly upset me. So again, I'm sitting here and having this conversation with you because I want to hear your views about this at hand. I want to go back to a little bit more information just so that we are reading at least what's been reported. And I like to get my information from a reputable source. I like to look at CNN. I'm not looking at gossip columns and stuff like that, but I like CNN for the most part. It's documented that evidence showed that the death resulted from a direct neck attack that broke her neck and also severed her spleen. and spinal cord. How is that? And when I was looking to see if what they were reporting in media, actually there was a video to support it, you couldn't find it until I found it. And when I found it, I was thinking, do I put that on the show? And I was like, no. I would just tell you that if you're very curious about what that altercation looked like physically, just search it. Twitter is a very good place you can find the video, because that's where I found it. And again, I found this one young woman named Dania Jackson, which is the woman in the video who is actually assaulting Miss Robinson. So what could have happened? What could have possibly happened that would have led up to this young woman being attacked? What could she have done? What could she have possibly done to cause someone to viciously attack her? Now, I was in a conversation with a group of people today, and, I don't know where they got their information. First time I heard it, that Miss Robinson was intoxicated. Then there was a source saying that Miss Robinson had called her mother the day before and reported that there was some odd behaviors from the people that was at the villa with her, and they were treating her some kind of way. And then next thing you know, she's at a morgue. What could possibly happen? I am totally baffled about that. Let's just move this conversation over to this. Jealousy. It's got to be something. Jealousy is an evil thing, but yeah, I hear you, Latifah. Let's break it down just a little bit. So she goes on vacation. Put yourself in that situation. She goes on vacation. Maybe you disagree with people. Maybe there was an argument, a dispute, but enough to violently attack her. Why? And why was it that these Fairweather friends stood idly by and watched, recorded, and coerced her to fight back? When it stated that the young woman stated that she did not want to fight. Wait, so it leads me more to believe that maybe this was not just one attack that happened, but just the one that got recorded? Because she's not fighting back in the video. And I'm curious to what should happen to the Fairweather friends who lied and stated that Miss Robinson had been drinking to the point of intoxication and that she needed medical attention because she had suffered alcohol poisoning. I mean, they really fabricated a good story cover-up so that they would not be held accountable. Very interesting, right? So interesting. So, oh my gosh, when I tell you that Twitter is just, they are vicious. They have posted each and every one of the individuals who went on vacation with this young lady, their phone numbers and home address. People are upset. I don't encourage anyone to post a phone number or an address of someone, because that is going to set you up to get in trouble with the law. Let the law handle this. Do not seek retaliation because of your feelings about the situation. What I think we need to be doing right now is talking about it. What do you think should happen to these individuals? What do you think should happen? I'm very, very curious. I mean, I can tell you what I think, but before I tell you what I think, I would like to know from you what you think. And you probably cannot see this, so let me make it a little bit bigger for everyone to see. And I'll just move it over. Here is the people who watched, recorded, stood by idly watching what transpired that we saw in the video. So my question to you is this: what do you think should happen to these individuals? The information is right here. Winter, she's the girl who fought her the second She's supposed to have done great bodily harm to her. Malik, he's the guy telling her at least fight back, hit back. There's also the woman in the video who is seen viciously attacking Miss Robinson, and that's Miss Jackson. Now, let's pay close attention to Khalil Cook. Khalil is the best friend, the sole best friend of Miss Robinson, who did nothing. And we'll show his picture in a second. And Miss Hyatt, she is the one who leaked the video because she says she was scared. Well, I guess so, Miss Hyatt. You were scared because you know what you guys at that villa did or did not do deserves a ramification from the law. And even if they go to prison, Latifah, how much time should they do? I mean, I think each and every one of them should actually have to do some kind of jail time. I think there needs to be a law. Now, I don't know if this to be true or not, but I want to know if there is a law that actually holds someone accountable while someone is being hurt and you're just recording it. I mean, walking by, that's a different thing. I'm talking about you're literally with a camera recording an attack take place. And no, you're probably not expecting that the person would end up losing their life in the course of this fight. But should there or should there not be some accountability for the individuals who was recording it and the individuals in that room who did nothing? I believe there should be some accountability. I don't think they should be actually looking for the one individual in the video who actually they believe caused possibly her death, especially if she has been fighting numerous of people. Of course she don't want to fight anymore. She's the only one fighting multiple people while everybody else get one fight in. Something's totally wrong with this. Let me check out your comments. So scary. I don't suspect people believe in evil out of hurting me, but this is what we have to be looking for. Yes, absolutely. Sadly, how does this happen? If she was drinking, she should have been kept safe. So I brought up this conversation. That's a good comment, Naomi. So I brought up this conversation with some peers from class. And a lot of these individuals didn't hear about this young girl. And I would tell you that the majority of them that did not hear about them, I don't know if this is any coincidence, were not people of color. And the couple of people is only, let me see, me. It's only 4 people of color in this entire group. And each of them had heard about it. I'm curious to why that could be. Like, is it not getting enough news? But, I digress. I think it's just odd that a lot of people don't know about this story. And even my professor was like, what happened? I don't know. I'm curious. So, yeah, I see some in the comments. You guys believe that they absolutely should be accountable. But to what degree should they be accountable? And I hate giving my opinion so fast. I can't wait to have my extra guests on the show. So there'll be a dialogue here because reading your comments, I want to stay in tune. Got another comment. Got to reflect to the comments. So I have to stop looking at you guys to just look at this. Unfortunately, the U.S., we have limit in any jurisdiction in the case because of murder happened in Mexico. Civil is probably going to happen, but criminal charges would be tough. Wow. Thank you for sharing that, Jared. Wow. I know that if I'm not mistaken, anything that may not be right, and if you know the answer, please put it in the comments. Again, I would not say I'm an expert on the criminal law, but I do have an opinion about it. So, because it happened in Mexico, and Miss Robinson was from North Carolina, and her peers were from different areas round about, but they all went to the same university. Okay, so I know that they're trying to extradite the young woman in the video, but from my understanding, at least when I last checked, they could not locate her. They can't find her. Oh, someone's gonna turn her in, but they can't find her right now. But there are other people that they can get their hands on. And my understanding that Mexico is trying to extradite all those individuals who were actually in the room or involved in this case back to Mexico so that they can address this crime. It's funny that they were able to leave Mexico, though. Very, very funny. It complicated to murder. Once you watch someone get murdered, that puts you involved and help with. Yeah, that's my thought, Latifah. That if you stand idly by and watch someone be murdered, could you be charged to some degree? I know that Jared is well versed in law. So I appreciate that comment because it's coming from someone who knows about the law. But again, I believe that each and every one of these individuals who is involved in this case to some degree should be extradited back to Mexico to face charges. I also think that no one should get off scot-free. I believe there should be some kind of law in place that when you watch these kind of things happen and you record this information, excuse me, but you don't give this information directly over to law enforcement, you're held accountable for withholding evidence in regards to a situation like this we're talking about. So why should any one of them get off scot-free? I don't think they should. I think they absolutely should be held accountable to the highest power. I want to show you this person here because this is the person I think everybody that is talking about this case is really pissed off at. This young man is the best, so-called best friend. Oh, that word. Best friend of Miss Jackson. And his name, again, is Khalil Cook. He is the one who actually was very, very close with Miss Robinson and agreed to go on this vacation as friends but there's other footage of them together. Not just him and Miss Robinson, all of these individuals that we're talking about tonight, all together in many pictures. This is not the first time they were together at some kind of event, doing some kind of activity together. This is not the first time. It's multiple footage out there with these individuals in a picture or a video together. But this person here is displayed in media as being the closest of friends to Miss Robinson and did nothing while she was being attacked. So what should happen to him? Should he be held just as accountable as the woman who attacked her? I say yes. I say yes. I absolutely say yes, especially when it goes from a fight to murder. Absolutely. All of these are if I'm not mistaken, each and every one of these individuals all of them are university students. Their careers, their education, to some degree, all of this has been snatched for nothing. And I just don't know how to really respond to that other than just really be in my feelings about it. We have enough against us as a people of color, Black people. Why is it that Black people are killing and hurting Black people? And that may be a very far-fetched question to ask, but I think it's a relative important one to ask because I'm sick and tired of looking at social media on the news about Black on Black crime. I don't know what the ratio is as it relates to Black on Black crime. What is it? High? Is it low? One source will say it's not as high as we believe it to be. Another source says it's extremely too high. Why does it even exist? Why? You have much to fight against. Why fight each other? I absolutely don't understand. It's different when it's not your family. It's different when what you see happening to someone else isn't happening to you and yours. It's easy for some people, not all, to turn a blind eye and say nothing, have no thought about it. For some people, that's easy to do. But I'm wondering, based on this topic, how many people, if you found out it was someone you knew, especially one of your children, a dear friend, someone, if it was someone you knew, would you have turned them in? Or would you help that individual avoid the consequences of their actions? Because you can best believe, in my opinion, these individuals in this photo here, you can trust and believe that their family is flipping their wigs. You can best believe they are on pins and needles because, one, majority of them was in college, right? So there go money to college, right? We don't know if any of those individuals own homes and properties and things like that where they can actually put up for collateral to help for legal issues to fight a case that they say they're innocent in, that they had nothing to do. It's very easy to look at it from that lens when it's not yours. But, as I sit here and it's not someone that's related to me, I would say that right now I'm like, oh my God, we got to go to the police. We have to go to the police because not only is what you have done or is accused of doing a big situation, an issue, but also it is now bringing an issue to everyone else. Everyone connected to these individuals are going to feel the wrath of people, of social media. They're going to feel the wrath. They're going to get really caught up in this whole situation about what some individuals did and did not do. And I have to tell you that if you are aiding and abetting someone, then yeah, that accountability should come to you as well. You should be held accountable as well. We're not talking about someone who broke their fingernail. We're not talking about somebody who got their hair pulled. We're not talking about someone who got a couple of scratches on their face. We're talking about somebody who has now been funeralized because individuals did not find enough respect for life to actually intervene and help her. I don't know. It's quite frustrating and very disappointing. And what you want to do is just actually handle things on your own, but that's just more trouble, more problems. I tell you, this is really, like I said, a heavy topic to have with just you guys in the chat. And processing it is difficult. It's so difficult. And I wonder, how do we change this so it doesn't happen again? How do we hold those in positions of power so that this doesn't happen again? I'm very, very curious. Very, very curious. How do we do that? Because I believe that we do that by petitioning all these individuals who are in power to start putting into law that when someone stands with a camera and records a crime happening, they should be held to the full extent, especially if they're not giving this information to law enforcement. And here's the thing. There are many people that have used their phones to record injustice and have given that information directly over to law enforcement so something can be done. But those who don't do that should be held accountable. I don't want to misquote the wrong thing, but I recall hearing that the relationship that Mexico had with the states, that they will not withhold any individual involved in this case, and they will support extradition, whatever needs to happen, to make sure that those individuals stand accountable. But then what? Once they're held accountable, because this too will pass, but once they're held accountable and consequences has been dealt out, my question is, what do we do moving forward? What do we do moving forward? Am I not my brother's keeper? And many people, I don't know if I'm speaking as an old head, but I would tell you that if people don't understand what am I my brother's keeper mean, maybe they need to learn it. Maybe they need to figure it out, because there's no reason why we should be talking about a situation like this. This is not something that we should be looking at. We should not be looking at a young woman in her prime in life actually being buried because people can't handle their feelings appropriately. I don't think that we should actually be talking about that. We should not be talking about this. We should not have to look at a young person who has so much potential sitting in a hospital, let alone and laying in a coffin, because people can't handle their feelings appropriately. Well, Mexico issued an arrest warrant for the suspect, but didn't say who it was. Just that she was the aggressor. Yes. However, let me tell you something. People start talking. And that is why I shared this information right here, so that you can see. So through people talking and sharing information and saying, I didn't do anything, and that person did this and that person did that, this is what they pointed out. They pointed out that these are the individuals and these are the roles that they play. So let's just say allegedly, these are the roles that they played in this little poster here. In this clip right here, this is what they said they did or did not do. And it just doesn't make any sense at all. It doesn't make any sense at all. I really am asking each and every one of you to get involved. Get involved. We look at social media. We spend a lot of idle time doing nothing, right? A lot of idle time doing nothing. This may not apply to everybody in the chat. It may apply to some people. It may not apply to any of you in the chat. But as people, there's a lot of people that stand by idly doing nothing. They're not standing up for what is right, but actually getting in line for what is totally wrong. And that's what we saw in the video, or you may have seen in the video when it relates to Ms. Robinson. But I'm asking that people actually step up and speak out. When injustice is happening within our own community against, this whole thing, snitches get stitches, child, buy with that. Buy with that. We need to stand up for injustice when injustice is happening to someone, because it could be you. It could be one of your loved ones. And I don't know why it needs to wait until it's somebody that you know personally for you to stand up and say, oh, no, we're not settling for this. I think that there needs to be some kind of petition out there stating that we want justice, not just for one person, but all people need to be held accountable that was involved at this resort. Let them go to court. Let the lawyers argue it out, and let them tell us that this one or two individuals had absolutely nothing to do with it. They actually left the room. They actually sought help, which we know that didn't happen, allegedly, because it is in media already. This happened on October the 28th. Here we are, November, a full month later. I absolutely don't get it. We need to stand up for the injustice in our community. We're fighting against people who oppress us, but there's people within our own circle is oppressing us, right? They're oppressing us. When you rob me fulfilling my dreams, completing my education, i.e. Miss Robertson, becoming a parent, Miss Robertson, getting married, Miss Robertson, like when you rob me of that, you should be held accountable. And there's people I was listening to in class and, was kind of, I don't think they knew that they were kind of just siding with the fact that this was like none of their business and they would have not gotten involved because they don't know what kind of consequences would have came after them. And I'm like, in this circle, I had to kind of compose myself because I could have a strong opinion about this, which I do. And I'm really curving it on this platform here because the language that comes to mind is just not a good thing. I'm very upset, and I'm sure like many other people, upset about what we are talking about. So I'm curving it to say there just needs to be justice. We need to stop allowing and turning a blind eye to the crime that's happening in our community because the person down the street, JoJo and Frank and Kanisha, Carlicia, whatever the names are, they're my friend. No, you have no friends when injustice is happening. You don't. Because if you did it to one of their family members, they would have turned you in with the quickness. They would have turned you in with the quickness. We need to do what's right. And what's right is speak up and speak out loud about the injustice that's happening. Thank you for the comment, Latifa. I actually agree. We got 3 likes in the comments. In the like button. And you guys are quiet. What do you think about this? I wanted you to talk to me about this. Give me some of your thoughts. What do you think? What do you think about this topic? Is it a topic that's just you become desensitized to, like it just constantly happens? Because there's some people I know that happens. They just hear it all the time. They just turn it off. They have no thought or feelings about it because it's something that they just become accustomed to. And when we become accustomed to crime like this, we need therapy. We need deep clinical therapy. When you can totally tune this out, not have any thoughts or views about it, it's just another girl that senselessly lost her life, and therefore there is no comment. I don't know. I disagree. I think that we all are each other's keeper. If your house is on fire on your block, and I know that these metaphors you may not think they have nothing to do with Miss Robinson, but they have everything to do with Miss Robinson. If your house catch fire, you are hoping for sure that your neighbor to the left, right, across the street, or behind you kick down the door, knock on the door, call the fire department, do something to help you. Even if you don't speak, you would want someone to stand up and step in when that needs to happen. And too often we just turn our nose in the other direction and don't care what's happening because it does not apply to us. It does not impact us. And I want to tell you, as Black people, this impacts us. Because you can best believe the other people that's of a different race and ethnicity, they're looking at us like, look at those animals. They're looking at us like, look at those animals. Look how they slaughter one another. Well, you could best believe that they're saying that. You want to know why I also believe they're saying that? Because I was thinking the same thing. How is it that my people are continually killing each other? Remember, this show is not all about the facts about Miss Robinson. It's about our thoughts, feelings, and experiences related to this topic. What would you do? What would you do? Stop the camera. What would you do? Easier said than done. Easier said than done. Okay, what we got here? One of them could have stopped that beat down. I don't understand someone feel right. Fighting someone that's not even fighting back. It's control and power. That's what it is. It's absolutely control and power. When you have control and power over someone, some people who are very narcissistic and controlling, that catapults them into another atmosphere. They love it. They thrive on that. To have that much control. And you can, if you watch the video of Denasia Jackson, who was in the altercation fighting Miss Robinson, she had control and power over her. The young lady was not fighting back. She was on the floor. She's kicking and punching and slapping her left and right. That's power. Absolute power. And it fed her ego. Until Miss Robinson was no longer breathing. I wanted to again, touch about the comments. Touch about the topic. Sorry, guys. The topic, because I felt that I wanted to hear from you guys. What did you think about this? I think it's worth talking about. I think it's worth lending a voice to. I think it's worth paying attention to the climate of our people, people in society. How are people handling their feelings? Because oftentimes they're not. There are people who don't handle their feelings appropriately. They allow their feelings to control them instead of controlling their feelings. And in the case, I can't wait to hear what sparked any of the individuals, especially Miss Jackson, in doing what she did. And also, let's not forget Khalil Cook for not stepping in and protecting his friend. When she's down on the ground, you don't even say, okay, enough is enough. And I don't know if all the video came out or not. Maybe it did, maybe it did not. But if it did, it didn't show someone standing up for her. And that's so disheartening. Guys, I want to say thank you for allowing me to just bring this conversation again. Please understand, and I'm going to repeat that because I am aware that my expression of this topic it could be looked at as like, was I sure about having the conversation? Trust and believe me when I say I was absolutely sure I wanted to talk about this. But I wanted to talk about it in a dialogue. And based on your comments, I see, I was hoping more people would comment and post your thoughts about it. But those who did, and those of you who just showed up, thank you so much for showing up. I think, again, this is worth lending a voice to. It's not going to be my last time talking about it, and I'm hoping that you will come back and actually engage in the conversation. I'm having a couple of people come on the show who reached out to me on Instagram. Their scheduling was a little bit of chaotic, so they couldn't be on tonight's show to engage in the conversation with me, but they asked if they can come at a later date to talk about this as this story unfolds. And I said, absolutely. So I promise that this is not the last time I'm going to be talking about it, but I'm hoping that you will think about what I brought to you. If you need more information about it, just search her name. Click videos, click photos, and you'll see a lot of information out there that is relative to this topic. It's just senseless and not called for. And it could be, like I said, one of yours. So think about how you would respond to it or not respond to it. Or should you even respond to it? Do you think you should have had any reaction to it? I don't know. I know that I couldn't just not do something. I would have to done something. Oh, good, Latif. I'm glad that you'll watch again. Bully behavior. Absolutely, Naomi. I absolutely agree. Latifa, I knew that you would have a lot to say because, again, due to your encouragement, I wanted to speak about this topic. All right, guys. Well, again, thanks so much. I hope that you would share this. Again, it's just information I wanted to talk about. And I'm praying for Miss Robertson's family, her mother, her father, and all the rest of her family and friends who actually care and lost a loved one. I'm praying for her. It's so difficult to say that I'm praying for the other individuals that's involved in this, but I am. I have to. And that will require that they get what is due to them. I don't think that any one of them should get off scot-free. So let's hope that they're able to, it's difficult. Let's hope that they're able to actually figure it out. Oh, you're welcome, Naomi. Let's hope that they're able to figure it out, hold those who need to be held accountable, and that justice for Shanquella Robinson is rendered. I thank you guys for coming in. Thank you for entertaining this conversation. I know it was not one of the greatest conversations to have, but remember, this show is going to talk about some light stuff and some heavy topics, and this was a heavy one. All right, look, see you next week, right? I got some guests coming on this month. I'm excited. I better not tell you guys. Let me just see how many of you show up. It's going to be a great, great, great conversation in the next 2 weeks. So please stay tuned. Check me out, Voices Gathering at www.voicesgathering.com. Also send me an email at diamond@voicesgathering.com. Make sure you do that. Remember, subscribe, like, and share this content. It's worth sharing, guys. Is it going to hurt you to share? It's not going to hurt at all. It actually helps me. So please do that. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I wish you all well. I can't wait to see you next week. Until next time, much love and be good to one another, as I hope this conversation and thought-provoking feeling is to you. See you next time. Bye.